Hey there, and welcome to This Explainer. If you're the kind of person who's really focused on learning, growing, and, just challenging the way you see the world, well, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're going on a bit of a journey to redefine one of life's absolute biggest mysteries, a concept that quietly shapes our daily decisions, our anxieties, and ultimately our limits. We are talking about the unknown. By the time we wrap up here today, we're going to look at that concept in a completely different, totally empowering light. We're going to strip away all those old fears and discover what actually lies beneath them. So, I want you to take just a quick second and really reflect on this. What instantly pops into your head when you hear the word unknown? Do you feel a sudden kind of tightening in your chest? Do you picture this dark, scary void? For most of us, our immediate visceral reaction to uncertainty is fear, right? I mean, we are conditioned from a very young age to crave the predictable, to map out literally every single step of our lives. But what if that initial reaction is based on a massive misunderstanding? Let's break down exactly where this fear comes from and why it might actually be holding us back.
All right, let's jump right into our first section, the burden of uncertainty.
Okay, let's dive into this. The source text we're breaking down today kicks up with a really stark, honestly pretty blunt observation. Unknown has always been linked to uncertainty. Culturally and psychologically, this word has almost exclusively been painted in a negative light. We use it to describe danger, risk, the things that keep us up at night. We treat the unknown like it's the absolute enemy to our stability, this looming threat that we have to avoid at all costs. But the text asks us to just pause here for a second and fundamentally challenge this deeply ingrained assumption that we all seem to share. Because here's the thing, the author points out that this is actually, and I absolutely love this, one of the most beautiful words in our language. Why? Because unknown simply means not known. That's it. It doesn't mean dangerous, it doesn't mean painful or destructive, it just means the story hasn't been written yet. When we take a step back and strip away all that imaginary danger we project onto the word, we are left with a completely blank canvas. The threat just vanishes and we're left with pure, unfiltered space. Now, what's really interesting about this idea is how the source frames the not known as an open invitation for boundless potential. Since the unknown is a blank canvas, what could actually fill it? Well, the text tells us it could be absolutely anything. It could be a brilliant new thought you just haven't conceptualized yet. It could be a newly forged belief that completely grounds you. It could be a profound sense of hope or literally any new possibility that completely alters the trajectory of your life for the better. The unknown isn't an empty void at all. It's actually the birthplace of everything new.
Moving right along to section 2, the shape of water.
This brings us to what I think is the core philosophy of our source text. The author compares the unknown to water. Now, think about water for a second. When you pour it into a glass, it perfectly takes the shape of the glass. When you pour it into a jug, it takes the shape of the jug. The unknown operates in the exact same way. It is entirely fluid. As the text says, it is something which can take the shape of this or that, or, astonishingly, even both at the exact same time. It's a profound metaphor for the human mind's ability to adapt. We actually shape the unknown through our own perspective. So the crucial point here is the massive contrast between these two mindsets. On one side, we've got this old, restrictive mindset. We see the unknown as a hopeless, infertile ground of uncertainty, a total dead end. But on the other side, we have the exact opposite, a wonderfully expansive new view. When we treat the unknown like water, adaptable, responsive, fluid, it translates directly to hope, endless possibilities, and immense personal growth. The unknown doesn't just happen to you, it responds to you. Okay, let's shift gears a bit for section 3, lighting up dark rooms. Because, look, embracing the unknown isn't just about taking wild external risks in your career or packing up and traveling to an unfamiliar city. The most important unknown we ever face is actually an internal journey. As the text states, it's like exploring new, unvisited locations of our own mind. Just think about how much of your own psyche remains completely unmapped right now. There are hidden talents, deep reserves of resilience, and entire landscapes of creativity inside you that you simply haven't visited yet, purely because you've chosen to stay in the familiar, well-lit areas of your life. And the source text gives us this incredibly beautiful, genuinely actionable process for this internal exploration. First, we have to deliberately step into the dark rooms of our mind, those places we usually avoid out of fear or discomfort. Second, we light them up with our focused attention and our courage. And third, what actually happens when we finally turn on that light? We don't find monsters.
According to the text, we reveal our stronger side, a side of ourselves that has been completely hidden from us until this very moment. You literally cannot discover your true strength until you venture into the dark to find it.
Which leads us to our fourth and final section, the flavor of life.
What a life would mean if there we do not taste the flavor of unknown. I just absolutely love the specific use of the word flavor here. Imagine eating the exact same bland, completely unseasoned meal every single day for the rest of your life, never deviating once. That is what a completely predictable life is. It lacks the essential spice, the essential flavor of new, unexpected possibilities. A life without the unknown isn't really living at all, it's just repeating.
The text makes a final, wonderful promise to us here. Because the unknown is completely full of these new possibilities and unvisited locations, the author guarantees that you will certainly be surprised when you actually follow that path. When you finally take that courageous step into the unmapped territory of your life, you aren't going to be met with disaster. You're going to be met with delightful surprises, profound personal growth, and a much richer, more vibrant existence than you ever thought possible. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought today. You now know that the unknown, it isn't a threat. It's a blank canvas. It's water waiting patiently for a vessel. It's a dark room that is literally holding your greatest hidden strengths. So, knowing all of this, what unvisited locations of your mind will you explore next? The map is completely blank and the pen is finally in your hand. Good luck on your journey, and thank you so much for learning with me today.